Hi there, and welcome back to this reading of Alabaster, Dangermond and the Serpent's Blade by Jason VanHorn, myself, the author. This time we're going to pick up with Chapter 2, The Chief. Let's get started. Out of breath, the three junior agents pushed through the door to the briefing room 2. The room was full of mahogany panels with a large table in the center. Sunlight from the outside poured through the tall windows. There were 7 junior agents already around the table. The glare from the chief made Al look away. The large-bellied man always wore a dark suit. Al thought the color went well with the chief's personality. Marianne was easily the most liked among the three, and as the most talented, the guys always counted on her to smooth things over when they were in a jam. She spoke first. "Sorry we're late, sir. I don't want to hear excuses, Miss Martinez. Sit down, you three, and be quiet," the chief said. With all the comfortable cushioned seats taken by other junior agents, Al and his friends found some hard wooden chairs to sit on against the wall. Sweat poured from Al and Turnkey's foreheads as they took their seats. If anyone would have guessed, they might have said the boys had just come off the basketball court. "As I was saying," the chief continued, "in a few days, the Central Intelligence Agency will take over my agent trials. I recognize this is a new approach and that notification is late. Nevertheless, I have agreed. Normally at 14, you would be ready for promotion from junior to assistant agent in the undercover secret agency by passing my tests, and then you'd head to Washington when you turn 16. But the CIA said they will take those that pass their version of the agent trials straight into their ranks. If promoted, you will move to Langley headquarters outside of Washington, D.C., and begin your new training assignment there. Anyone younger than 14 will not participate in the agent trials and will remain here." The chief looked directly at Marianne. She was the only junior agent in the room younger than 14. A tickle tugged at Al's throat. He coughed. The chief looked over to where Al sat. "You've been training since your admittance into the USA, and I expect you will all pass with—" Al couldn't stop coughing. His eyes began to water. "What in heaven's name is wrong with you? Get a hold of yourself, Agent Dangermond." Sweat cascaded down Al's face as he looked across the room at the pitcher of water beyond the chief in the corner, incessantly coughing. Turnkey motioned with his hand. "Sir, no excuses, Agent Keystone. Just get the boy some water." Turnkey got him some water, and Al downed it to soothe his parched throat. When Al chugged the last bit of water, he realized everyone in the room was staring at him. Marianne fidgeted on her chair. "Right. Well, now that Agent Dangermond is through, perhaps I can continue?" The chief looked directly at Alabaster. Al knew better than to say anything. Everyone in the room adjusted their focus back to the front. "I expect all of you to pass the agent trials. They are meant to be hard, but you've been in training since your 9th birthday, and there's no reason the trials designed by the CIA will be any different than the ones I've designed. All of you displayed excellence in your sports activities with the Universal Sports Academy, and that's why I recruited you here into the USA. You have strong signs of physical strength and agility, but it is your mind and your mental toughness that will give you success as agents. Are there any questions?" The junior agents looked around at each other. Smirks appeared on a few faces, but the room remained silent. "That will be all, then," the chief said. "Except for you, Mr. Dangermond." Al watched the cohort of junior agents stream out of the room. Turnkey and Marianne got up and tried to give Al a reassuring smile, but quickly turned their attention back to the chief when he spoke. "Agents Keystone and Martinez, I expect better from you both. Each of you will receive a demerit for being late. Don't let it happen again." "Yes, sir." As Marianne Martinez walked by, she put her hand on Al's shoulder and gave him a short nod. He could always count on her for encouragement. Al looked over to his best friend, and they locked eyes as Turnkey exited the room after Marianne. Al desperately wanted to follow his best friend as the large wooden door came shut. The end had finally come. Al needed another glass of water, but his arms and legs wouldn't move from their spot. Like pieces of metal near a large magnet, the attraction to his chair was overwhelming. His affixed position on the wooden chair became even more uncomfortable as the large man came closer. He thought the chief wasn't so bad, but he hated a scolding. Every time he got in trouble, he was reminded of his parents. He missed them so much. Long dead now, he wondered if they would have been like the chief. He always came to the same conclusion. Al hung his head. "I'm sorry, Chief. I know my parents put you in charge of me, and you're just looking out for me." The big man sighed. "Alabaster, I have no room for softness. I expect you to live up to your potential. When you are late to meetings, you put me in a difficult position. I do not have the luxury of giving you special treatment among the other junior agents just because I'm your guardian. I'm still the boss of this agency." Al knew it was coming. His career as an agent was about to end before he even had a chance to prove himself. His parents first enrolled him in the Universal Sports Academy boarding school when he was 5 years old. 2 years later, when his parents died, Al stopped competition climbing altogether, but the chief kept him enrolled in the academy. The Sports Academy had a reputation of producing Olympic champions and strings of professional athletes in many sports. Admitted students entered a dual program in sports and education curriculum, and for some who had high scores in certain sports and school subjects, a special offer was made. A clandestine program of the Sports Academy existed called the Undercover Secret Agency, or the USA, and Al had taken the secret exams to enter when he was 9. The agency was set up as a prep school to produce secret agents for the CIA. Graduates of the Undercover Secret Agency usually entered the CIA when they were 16. Now he had a shot at entering early if he could pass the agent trials. Studying to become a CIA agent had become his sole purpose in life since the time he entered the program. It was everything he wanted, but the boss had leveled his threats for tardiness. Now it was the end. "Alabaster Dangermond." "Yes, sir." "You will report to Mr. Underwood, our mansion custodian, for 1 week to clean and prepare every room he assigns. You of all agents here have the best grasp on timing. Your free falls down the abandoned shaft help you work on your timing and precision, do they not? Yet you can't seem to find the ability to make it to my briefing meetings on time." "So I'm not kicked out of the program for my tardiness?" "Kicked out? No. I've changed my mind about that. You will learn more lessons through this punishment than if I kicked you out. Consider this punishment part of your training and learn from it. Underwood is going to push you hard. Furthermore, I'm going to activate the Vitals Tracker chip in your shoulder to keep tabs on you. It will tell me exactly where you are at all times. I'm going to authorize Underwood to access it as well, so he can know where you are according to the room-to-room cleaning schedule he will give you. Alabaster, I am sure your parents would expect better of you if they were still with us." Al sighed deeply. There was nothing he missed more than his parents. A day never passed that he didn't think of them. Apart from the few pictures he owned, he'd forgotten so many things already. Their hugs, their smiles, even their smell. All Alabaster had left of his parents was some money they gave him in a trust and the large man in front of him assigned to be his guardian. "I understand, sir. I'll go see Mr. Underwood," Al said as he looked down at the floor. The chief spoke softer. "Alabaster, you are one of the finest students here at the agency, and good at many things. Just pay attention and keep trying to improve, and one day you'll make a fine agent." At least the chief wasn't completely heartless. there was a ray of hope somewhere in what he had said. "Sir, one last thing. Do I still get the chance to participate in the agent trials?" The big man came close, and even though he was so large, he got down on one knee next to Al. The teenager had never seen him do that before. "Of course, you are going through the agent trials. I expect to hear a good report on you. Remember to focus your attention, and you will be fine." Al could almost feel the rays dance on his skin as sunlight bathed the room. "Thanks, Chief. Now, go report to Mr. Underwood. You have a lot of cleaning work to do for him." Al got up from his chair and walked toward the door. As he did, he felt his wrist vibrate. Looking down at the watch that Mary Ann had designed, he saw that he had a new email message. "To Al Dangermond 17 at unisportacademy.edu from ZM at blg.ml.is.com. Subject: Your parents' death. Dash. For your eyes only." That concludes Chapter 2 of our book, and next time we'll pick up with Chapter 3, Cold-Blooded Murder. Thanks so much for joining me for this reading, and I look forward to our next time. Bye.